Hello, welcome back to another session of learning. And today, in the series of the verbs, we're going to learn what are regular verbs and their conjugation. Are you ready? So let's begin to learn what regular verbs are. Alright, here we go. So first, let us try and recollect what a verb is. Look at these sentences in front of you. He swims in the lake every day. She sings melodiously. They drive to work. We buy our groceries at the local shop. What do these underlined words, swims, sings, drive, buy, tell you? Yes, they tell you what he, she, they, and we do. All these words talk about action or work. So, a verb is a word that talks about action done by the subject. Which is the subject here? Do you recollect that lesson on subject and predicate? Yes, you're right. He, she, they, we, all these are subject, and a subject is either a noun or a pronoun. So, a verb, is it clear? A verb is an action word. It talks about the action done by the subject. Now here in front of you is a verb conjugation of the regular verbs, and there you see the regular verbs, the clue is given there, they either end in ed or d. Some verbs also end in t. But you look at this here. The verb conjugation is divided into 5, and this is how many grammarians have used this to teach verbs and sentence construction. By nominating them as V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Recollect that? Anyway, we are not going to use that mathematical formula here. I would like you to experience grammar as a communication tool rather than a mathematical example. Alright, so the first form is the to infinitive, which is nothing but the base form of the verb. Then we have the S form, we have the past form, we have the past participle form, and the present participle form. Now what are these 5 forms? We'll look at them a little later, but right now I want you to look at this screen, pause it and look at this screen and look at all those verbs that are displayed there in front of you. For example, walk, walks, walked, walked, walking. Let's say dance, dances, danced, danced, and dancing. Play, plays, played, played, playing. Call, calls, called, called, calling. Now these are the various 5 forms, and this is called the verb conjugation. And for irregular verbs, you notice that the past and the past participle, all of them have ed endings. Is that clear? Alright? Okay, so now let's learn what those 5 forms actually mean. So shall we see what these 5 forms are, the conjugation or the verb conjugation are. The first one is the to infinitive or the base form. Simply you can say the base form. Then we have the S form, the verb ends with S, and then we have the past form of the verb. We have the past participle form of the verb, and we also have the present participle form of the verb. But what are they? We shall look about it, we shall learn about it in just a minute. Now there in front of you is your answer. What is to infinitive? An infinitive is the basic form of the word. Alright, it is mostly preceded by to, and sometimes it is not. You can also call it, it's not just a word there, it's a verb. Alright, so an infinitive is the basic form of this verb, and it is mostly preceded by to, and sometimes it is not. Now this is only for a grammarian. Nobody is really going to ask you what an infinitive is in real life. But what I want you to understand, in case you are looking at improving your communication skills, is that this is how it is used. It is the basic form. And you need to know the basic forms of all the verbs, especially the common verbs that we use in our day-to-day communication, whether it is speaking or writing. Now look at these examples here. I want to bake a cake today, and there you have to bake to infinitive. Bake is the basic form of that verb, bake. And I can also use it without to. I bake a cake once a month. Alright. So normally used with I, we, you, and they or plural subjects. So I bake, we bake, you bake, they bake, several bake, Ram and Sham bake. So that's how we use this to infinitive or the basic form of the word. What about the S form? It is used either by adding S or IES to the basic verb. See, bake, bakes are used, but for marry, marries, IES. Alright. Normally used with he, she, it or a singular subject. He marries, she marries, it marries. I don't know which it marries, but it marries. And then let's say singular subject. Mahesh Babu marries. Alright. So these are the two, and we normally use these for the present form, the present tenses. Is that clear? Good. So let's learn about the others now. So what are the past forms and the past participle form? The past form of the verb refers to the verb which is used to express an action in the past tenses. We have this present tense, past tense and the future tense. So we use the past form to talk about a verb and its usage in the past tense, right? So for regular verbs we use ed endings, bake and baked, ed. Irregular verbs, the form changes, and we'll go, went, or sometimes same form, cut. But we'll learn more about irregular verbs in the next video. But for now, just that's a glimpse. What about the past participle form? It is a form of a verb that ends in ed or en or wn or in a different form altogether, like go, went, gone, or no change in form, like there's sometimes no change in form, like cut. But in this past participle form for regular verbs, you must remember, is the same. The past form and the past participle form is the same, ed ending. Alright. But remember, where do we use that? We use this form for perfect tenses, we use this form for passive voice, we use this form as an adjective. For example, the baked chicken was on the plate. Now, baked is also past, baked is also past participle form, and this is for regular verbs. Alright, is that clear? What are these perfect tenses and passive voice? We'll discuss them at a later time, but for now, a perfect tense and a passive voice is where we use the past participle form of the verb. Clear, guys? Good to go? Alright, wonderful. This is the last one in the verb conjugation, the present participle form. What is it? It is a form of a verb that ends in ing. For example, eat, ate, eaten, and eating. Baked, bake, bakes, baked, baked, and baking. Alright, so we use this form for continuous tenses. I am baking a cake. We use this form as a gerund, like eating is my favorite pastime, baking is my favorite pastime. I can also substitute because I am a foodie too. And we use this form as an adjective. We had no drinking water in the office. Alright, so you see this, the to infinitive form, the S form, the past form, the past participle form, and the present participle form are the 5 forms in which a verb can be conjugated, whether it's a regular verb or an irregular verb. But here we are looking at regular verbs, and the fundamental thing that you need to remember about the regular verb is that the past form and the past participle form both are similar because they both end in the ed form. Alright? Great. You look at an example, you look at a series of examples in just a short while. Then I need you to pause and look at all the verbs that are displayed in front of you and how they are used in the sentences. That is what is very important. there in front of you is the usage of the regular verbs, the base form and the S form in sentences. Now, I wash, we wash, you wash, and here the wash is all in the base form or the infinitive or the to infinitive form. Now, he washes, she washes, it washes. They're all in the S form. They wash, infinitive form. Lucky washes, because it's singular, S form. Both wash, both is plural, so the to infinitive or the base form. So remember this, for I, we, you, they and plural, we use the to infinitive form, and for he, she, it and singular form of the subject, we use the S form. Now this is the fundamental for subject verb agreement. Yeah, we'll look at that in some time. I hope this is clear for now. Now we are going to have a look at how these regular verbs are used in the past and the past participle form. Now what is the condition here? The past form and the past participle form, both of them, the verbs are, the form of the verb is same, ed. Now I've used the same example here. I washed, washed, I had, I have. So for the past participle, we also use it. You remember that I said past participle we use in perfect tenses, and this is a classic example of perfect tense. I have washed my clothes. I had washed my clothes. I will have washed my clothes. Right? We washed our clothes. Here washed is past form. We have washed our clothes is in the past participles form. So if you, but here you see he, she, it, we have used has for the present perfect tense. Has, present perfect tense. Will have is future perfect tense. They, they, plural, so we have used have. And lucky, singular, so we have used has. And for both, because it's plural, we have used have washed. So is that clear? Good. Here in front of you are the sentences where the regular verb is used in the present participle form. The present participle form is nothing but the verb ends with ing. Washing, I am washing, continuous tense, will be washing, future continuous tense, was washing, past continuous tense, we are washing, that's in present continuous tense. So there you see, this is how it's same, except that the helping verb, the are, is, was, they change according to whether the subject is singular or plural, or it's first person, second person, or third person. But otherwise, our focus is on the verb form and the present participle form. Always the verb ends in ing forms. I hope this is clear. So again, let's have a quick recap in just a while. Guys, shall I just share some gyan with you? It's nothing serious, but something very sincere. You've looked at how these verbs, these regular verbs, and you've looked at also their forms, the base form, the infinitive form, the S form, the past participle form, the present participle form. You've looked at a big list there, rather a short list, yes. But there is a big list out there if you're interested. No, you should memorize them. You should have a look at that big list and try and attempt to form the sentences the way I've used just one or two verbs there, just to make things a little easy for you to understand. But ideally, I would love to use all those, for every sentence I would have loved to use a different verb form. But time constraint or whatever, I have not used it. But I would suggest that you do that bit of work, because you practice it, you become perfect. Alright, so let's have a quick recap. A verb is an action word. The action verbs are of two types generally, regular verbs and irregular verbs. And whether it's a regular verb or an irregular verb, they all have 5 ways a verb gets conjugated. The first one is the to infinitive or the basic verb. Then you have the S form, then you have the past form, then you have the past participle form, and then the present participle form. And this is nothing but that same old V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. And the regular verbs, the past forms and the past participle end either in ed or t. Sometimes in cases they also end with t. The regular verbs are thus called the weak verbs. This is traditionally felt that because there is no change in the there is just a change in the vowel there. Okay. For the there's a change in the vowel for in the irregular verbs, but for this the same. For example, break, B-R-E-A-K. Now when I change it into the past form, B-R-O-K-E, there's a change in the vowel. So break, broke and broken, they are irregular verbs and they are called the strong verbs. More about it in the next lesson though. But for now, understand, regular verbs are treated as weak verbs, but there is no really fast no real rule that says, and you can actually forget it. The conjugation of verbs is the way a verb gets modified and used in various situations like voice, which is nothing but active and passive voice, tenses, the mood, etc. And you will learn about all of these in greater detail as we move ahead in our lessons. And one last step, just memorize the list of regular verbs that you come across and start using them in sentences. That's the way you retain this learning, not just by watching my video. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video so patiently. I hope this session was useful and you have sufficient knowledge about what regular verbs are and how we could use them. Thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting me all through. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've liked my videos and the way I'm presenting the lessons with to you. I would be very happy, and I would appreciate very deeply if you would post your comments and queries and concerns so that I could respond to them. Please do like my videos. Please click on that thumbs up icon there. Please like my videos. They are a source of great motivation. Please subscribe to my channel English Breaks, and if you have already subscribed, I would request you to share my channel with your friends, relatives, family, anyone who is interested in learning. You would be of a great help to me. Thank you so much once again, and take care of yourself and your loved ones during these tough times. God bless. Take care till we come back with the next lesson, and the next lesson is going to be on, yes, you guessed it right, irregular verbs. Till then, take care. God bless.